Jamie, you guys didn't really have a clear rival. Maybe App State was the closest thing. Was that your kind of feeling?
Yeah, I mean, this past couple years, FBS, I think it was really App State, but for me, I feel like it's nothing kind of compared to what it is here. So, excited for this one, kind of the first really true rivalry game that I've been a part of. So yeah, we're excited for it.
Have you heard a lot of stories about the rivalry and anyone you're able to share?
I honestly don't have I didn't really. It's kind of slowly starting to I'm still slowly starting to realize how kind of important this game is. I feel like when I first got here in January, I didn't really even know kind of who the rival was. I didn't really realize how important this game was. I haven't really heard any stories. I just know that there's some pretty deep hatred between the two fan bases, and that's kind of what college football is all about. So like I said, we're pumped for this game. We're excited.
How a lot of the guys who came from JMU also come from that part of the country, Virginia and all that. How much does it take to kind of get used to like the Midwestern ways of not just in rivalries, but just kind of the different traditions here and the way we do it as opposed to over there?
I mean, it took a little bit. It's just really kind of hearing it from guys that have been here. I've talked to Mike Kadick a lot, and he's kind of told us a lot about the rivalry, about the game, how important it is. We've had alums come in here and kind of the first thing we'll talk about is Purdue and how we need to get the bucket back and stuff like that. So I mean, it's really just kind of hearing it, word of mouth from other people, obviously. So the more people I talk to, the more I see out there, it's definitely I feel it now.
You guys, they made a rivalry with ODU. Did they create a trophy for that when you were there?
Yeah, there was a trophy they made like the FBS kind of Sun Belt. But it was nothing compared to this, obviously.
No, you don't remember what the trophy was? It a bucket or spittoon?
It was I don't even know what it was. I totally forget what it was. Honestly, it was like something flashy. But I know the bucket and spittoon; those things are old and beat up, which is just how it should be. I feel like.
Does the rivalry game make you guys any more motivated, or is it just keeping pushing forward?
Yeah, I mean, like Coach Shig says all the time. The next game is the biggest game just because like I said, it's the next one. So we're trying not to put extra kind of. We're not trying to think about it too deep or anything like that. But at the same time, there's obviously a little bit extra motivation considering the rivalry. So but we're not trying to have that to play too big of a part in it.
Bouncing back from Ohio State, what's been the keys to mindset in doing that?
Yeah, it's really just turning the page. Obviously, it was disappointing for us. We didn't play how we wanted to. But obviously that's going to happen. So for us, just turn the page. Having good week of prep. Kind of just putting that behind us and focusing everything on Purdue.
How did you react for them going to that last touchdown?
Yeah, that was disappointing. I wish we could have kept him out. Obviously we want to finish strong and stuff like that. But I feel like that was kind of one of the more disappointing parts of the day, just because for them that was like cherry on top. Minute left or whatever it was, so that was pretty upsetting and disappointing. But it is what it is. Got to move on from it.
Did you think they were going to kneel down there at the end zone?
I didn't even really see. I thought he scored a touchdown, and then kind of everyone started standing around. And I realized it was on the one, and I knew that they wanted to kind of, like I said, kind of put the cherry on top. So I knew they were going to sneak it or do something to get in there. So we wish we could have stopped them, but it is what it is.
When you have a loss, how do you take the good out of the bad? Because you guys did hold their running backs. I think it was 4.5 yards a carry.
Mm-hmm.
So there were some good things in that as well. How do you kind of calibrate that?
Yeah, it's really just kind of like watching the tape, going through it, see what we can do better. I thought defensively we obviously we had good parts. We had some bad parts. So obviously it's just same old. Learn from the bad. Taking from the good and kind of growing from that, and expanding on that. So it's same process as usual. It's just kind of learning from the bad, and just kind of growing from the good.
I guess from an outsider's perspective, there's a lot of just this past weekend was a guy. You guys have called yourselves the G5 All-Stars against a bunch of 5 stars at Ohio State. How have you guys been able to establish yourselves so much so far this season as a good defensive line room?
Yeah, I think for us it's really just having a chip on our shoulder. Most of us that have transferred here, we're under-recruited guys who, didn't get recruited by the schools we wanted to, kind of coming out of high school. So I think we've always kind of had that chip on our shoulder. Coming here, I know we were, saw a lot of stuff about how we weren't gonna, we're too small, weren't gonna be able to play in the Big Ten. So just using that as motivation for us. And yeah, just kind of always putting that chip on our shoulder.
Do you feel like you and CJ are kind of built on the season, showing more chemistry kind of late, more productive?
Yeah, I think definitely as the season's gone on for us, we've definitely stepped our game up. I think first half of the season we were still trying to feel each other out and kind of see how we played and just kind of see our tendencies and stuff like that. But I think as the season's gone on in practice, we've definitely built upon that, built upon our relationship, off the field, and just kind of realizing what we do and really working well together in there.
Aiden Fisher, I think it was last week, said, you guys have added, with you guys' experience with Coach Haynes, you're doing a lot of different stuff, he's throwing more on your plate.
Yeah.
I mean, do you get a sense of that? Like, how much more, have you guys done up front than you did maybe a couple of years ago?
Yeah, I was just talking there. We've definitely, as the years have gone on with Coach Haynes and Coach Kuntz, we definitely added, a lot of different stuff, different fronts, different, pass rush games, just a lot of different blitzes and unique looks. So, yeah, I mean, they put a lot on our plate. We welcome that. It confuses the offensive line, confuses the defense for some people. So, definitely as the years have gone, we definitely switched it up a good bit.
Like, is there how much more do you say? Would you say you learn? Is it week to week? Like you're learning more? Or is it at the start? Like, is it in the off season? Like, when does that happen? Kind of like
usually, I feel like it's usually week to week. In camp, we usually build upon the ground level, the base level stuff, and then each week we're putting in a bunch of new different blitzes, different looks, and just going through that. So I think for us, it's really kind of week to week things.
So as a veteran group, he just feels like you're more capable, so I can throw
Yeah.
more at you at the start of the week that you
Yeah.
can execute well.
Yeah, just a bunch of guys who've been in the system long enough. We work well together. So yeah, I mean they can throw a lot on play. We're gonna go out there and execute.
How much do
You
you
have time
give
for two more.
How much do you give yourself a chance to reflect this week? I know your journey was, hardly recruited out of high school. Now you're walking out. It's not your last game, but walking out here is, in the college football playoff.
Yeah.
How much do you give you a chance to reflect on,
Yeah.
on all that?
It's definitely going to be, a little bit of an emotional moment. I think, last home regular season game. It's been an incredible ride. So I think, kind of as the week's gone on, I'll think about it. But I think, it's definitely going to hit me when I'm out there with my parents. But I'll just save that for that moment. But yeah, I definitely, think upon it this week and trying to, get too much into that. But I understand, it could get emotional out there, just considering everything that's happened.
Anything else?